All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, salutations, love, and respect to all you sincere Akim out there, to the four corners of the earth who are pushing the ministry and truth and sincerity, and all you sincere sisters who are listening and learning and, Lord willing, humbling your souls. This is Brother Lawyer with GMS Wisconsin. Just wanted to come at y'all with Sirach, the 8th chapter. I wanted to go over because it's a beautiful chapter, man. And it shows you how to use common sense, how to operate with sound judgment, and that's going to be the title of this lesson. Is going to be common sense and sound judgment. But I'm going to get into this. This is Sirach chapter 8 and verse 1, and it reads, "Strive not with a mighty man, lest thou fall into his hands. Be not at variance with a rich man, lest he overweigh thee. For gold hath destroyed many and perverted the hearts of kings." What is that talking about? A mighty man is someone who is who may be high ranking in society, who may have a lot of power, who may have a lot of influence. The scriptures say don't go back and forth with somebody like that, or someone who may be violent, because you can fall into their hands. You can become a victim of theirs, man. And it says, be not at variance with a rich man. So you don't want to quarrel with someone who has a lot of influence in this society. So it would be unwise, according to the scriptures in modern times, to go back and forth with, let's say, Bill Gates, man, to sit there and argue with this man. Why? Because he has the influence and the monetary power to overweigh you or ruin your life, man. But it says gold has destroyed many and perverted the hearts of kings. I think about I think about Ecclesiastes 7:7, where it says, "Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart," man. Why? Because gifts can go into money, and a lot of people have sold their souls. They've sold their souls for riches, for cars, for beautiful women, And, we all like to look at beautiful women, but you shouldn't be selling out just so you can get more attention, man. You shouldn't be selling out just so you can have these worldly possessions. These things are temporary, man. But it says that gold has perverted the hearts of kings. A gift can destroy your heart, especially when it's coming from your enemy, man. This is Esau's kingdom. And because this is Esau's kingdom, these things are for him on this side, man. We're not supposed to be rich on this side. There's nothing wrong with having things. Don't get me wrong, but it can really destroy you, man. It can ruin your judgment, your common sense, your sound judgment. Verse 3, "Strive not with a man that is full of tongue, and heap not wood upon his fire." We've all heard people say, don't add fuel to the fire, when you're going back and forth with somebody. And the reason they probably told you that is because the person you're arguing with, that individual probably knows that person is unreasonable, man. So it says, strive not or argue not with a man that is full of tongue, somebody that got a big ass mouth, man. Because when you go back and forth with somebody who has a big mouth, they have no sense of common sense or judgment, and this is how you get common sense and sound judgment, by knowing not to argue with someone who can't get it, man. Especially if you teaching this truth, somebody that won't shut their mouths, man. Don't heap wood on their fire. Don't add fuel to the fire. Just keep it pushing, man. Verse 4, "Jest not with a rude man, lest thy ancestors be disgraced." When you go into the word jest, it goes into operating in a joking matter. A rude man is someone who has no sense of judgment, someone who lacks understanding. So you don't want to joke around and, be in a jokey joke way with somebody who can't get that, man. Why? Because he'll disrespect your ancestors. And who do we know that does that all the time? Esau, Edom, man. You Edomites are exactly who I think about when I read scriptures like this, man. Y'all are the ultimate rudeness, man. You have oppressed, murdered, and disgraced our ancestors. You do it on a daily basis, man. Verse 5, reproach not a man that turneth away from sin, but remember that we are all worthy of punishment. So if someone is trying to change their ways, if they're acknowledging their offenses, man, the scriptures say you don't get on that person, man. You know, because it says we're all worthy of punishment. It's I believe it's I forget what scripture it is, but it talks about in the Bible. It says Salakia. It says we are all worthy of judgment. Salakia. We must all appear before the judgment seat. You know, we all have to go before the Lord one day. You know. And it also says that for all have fallen short of the glory of the Lord, man. That's talking about all of us Israelites. So when you see someone who is repenting from their sins, the scriptures say don't come down hard on that person, man. Because it may be something that the Lord may be mad at you about, or that he may be that you could get judged for, man. That goes into examining yourself. Verse 6, dishonor not a man in his old age, for even some of us wax old. And you got a lot of young people nowadays who are disrespectful to elders, man. They don't respect the older generation, you know. They don't respect what they tell them, you know. They're constantly disregarding wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They don't know what common sense is, especially this last generation. They don't know what common sense is, man. Verse 7, rejoice not over thy greatest enemy being dead, but remember that we die all, you know. Someone you may truly dislike, you know, go to the spirit world. The scriptures say you're not supposed to rejoice over that, man. Why? Because Yahweh Shema Shah can take your life. He can stop your heart, man, and send you to the spirit world. And y'all in the same boat then. Verse 8, despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. For of them thou shalt learn instruction and how to serve great men with ease. What does that basically say? If you're around someone who has wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the scriptures say you're supposed to put your all into learning what they're teaching you, man. You know, and that actually it makes me think of a scripture in the book of Proverbs when it comes to, wisdom and instruction. Because it's right here. It's exactly these things that keep us alive, you know, that help us to discern in certain situations. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7. And it reads, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding, with all your might, with all your strength, man. It says wisdom is the principal thing. And when you go into that word principal, it literally means chief or the best. And when you think of someone who is a chief, who may be at a high rank, you know, they're the ultimate, man, of whatever it may be, you know. When you think of a chief, you think of something that is the very best, man. So it says wisdom is the principal thing. Common sense, sound judgment. But when you go back to Sirach, the 8th chapter, where it says, despise not the discourse of the wise, a wise person can teach you something that you may not have ever heard before, man. It says, acquaint yourself with their proverbs. So listen to what they're telling you, man. With all you're getting, get understanding. For of them thou shalt learn instruction in how to serve great men with ease. You know? And that shows humility too, when you're able to humble yourself. When you're able to humble your soul, man, and listen to what you're being taught. That's how you learn instruction. That's why you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that you can listen twice as much as you speak. Verse 9, miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learned of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need requireth. So you don't want to miss wise counsel, man, especially from the elders. You know, I believe it's in 1 Timothy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get it. You know, it said that is why, when us brothers start these videos, we always give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, because they're the ones who have taught us this truth. You know, they've given us this knowledge through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Let me get Salakia. Oh, here we go. This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5 and verse 17, and it reads, let the elders that rule be well, Slacky, let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. So with Elder Apostle Tahar on down, the elders and the apostles of GMS, they labor day in, day out, week in, week out, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So we give them double honor. That is why we say double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, man, who rule well, because they deserve that double honor. They're doing the work of the Lord, man, and they're teaching us things. They're giving us their experiences that they learned coming up, the things that they were taught as they were coming up in this ministry, man. And that's beautiful. To have someone there who can teach you things that you may not be able to get on your own, man. That's why it says, miss not the discourse of the elders. So you should be watching those videos and listening to the things that they are telling us, because they learned of their fathers, and that's how we get understanding, and we someone may have a question for us, the things that you learn from the elders, from the apostles, from the teachers, you'll be able to teach to someone else, man. That's why it says, and to give answer as need requireth. A situation may arise where your answer to that person's question, you may save that person's life, man. That's why it's important to listen with your ears, man. Verse 10, kindle not the coals of a sinner, lest thou be burnt with the flame of his fire. Meaning, don't encourage a sinner, Don't give him occasion to continue to sin. You should probably be rebuking him openly. That makes me think about Proverbs, the 27th chapter, man. Salakia. So it says, kindle not the coals of a sinner, meaning don't encourage them, man. But I'm going to show y'all why it's important not to do that. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 5. And it reads, open rebuke is better than secret love. And what is rebuke? It means correction, man. So you should be correcting that person if they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing. That is why it is important not to kindle the coals of a sinner, man. Verse 6, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful, man. Let's say your friend may say something that hurts your feelings, but it's the truth. It's better for that friend to have given you the truth and hurt your feelings than to, trust in someone who is no good for you, man. That's pretty much what that's talking about. So when you see someone going off, man, you should correct them. That's better to openly correct that person than to secretly just, let them do it and not say anything, man. You're not a friend if you're that type of person. Kindle not the coals of a sinner, lest thou be burnt with the flame of his fire. Don't encourage it, man, because it's super easy for you to get in that situation yourself. Verse 11, Rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person, lest he lie in wait to entrap thee in thy words. Let's go into that. Let's go into the definition of injurious, man. Ooh, Salakia. I can't go to Google because I'm on airplane mode. But you know what? I'm just gonna take it off just for the sake of the lesson. Salakia, y'all. Let's go into this word injurious. It says causing or likely to cause damage or harm. Let's get some similarities here. It says dangerous, hurtful, unfavorable, malignant, destructive. So let's go back to that precept right quick. What does it say again? It says, rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person. So someone who is destructive. That makes me think about controlling your anger, man. Let's see. Let me go to a precept right quick. Salakia, y'all. It says, rise not up in anger at an injurious person. Why? Because that person who is injurious or destructive, they have nothing to lose, man. They have absolutely nothing to lose. And they don't give a damn about ruining your life, man. That person can care less about your situation. I'm just looking for this bear with me for 1 second. Just looking for a certain precept. Wait a minute. As a matter of fact, how about I put this? Soft answer. Here we go. Salakia, y'all. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 1. And it reads, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. What is that talking about? When you know how to speak to a person who is angry, that shows your wisdom, man. But it says, but grievous words stir up anger. Let's go into that word grievous. Ooh.
Strong's H 6089. 8sev. 8sev. Second entry. Etsev. Etsev.
It says pain, hurt, toil, sorrow, labor, hardship, offense. Let's see what this says. It says to hurt, pain, grieve, displease, vex. So vexing words can literally make that person's anger worse, man. It says a soft answer turns away wrath. So when you know how to talk to someone who is angry, when you know how to calm that person down just with your words, man, it shows your wisdom, man. Verse 2, the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. You know, that can go into, not provoking an angry person, man. Because you know how to use your words. You know, that shows your common sense. It shows your judgment, whether you have sound judgment or not, man. Precept, just to carry it on, because I don't want this video to be too long. I want to just get the edifying and, keep it pushing. But again, it says, rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person, lest he lie in wait to entrap thee in thy words. So an injurious person is destructive. They have nothing to lose. So you think they're going to care about your life and what you got going on? And an example of an injurious person is someone who will come up to your job and try to get you fired, man. So it's no point in getting mad at that person. They have no understanding. They don't have any common sense, man. It says, least he lie in wait to entrap thee in thy words. They'll literally try to twist your words, man. and make it sound like something is not. Verse 12, lend not unto him that is mightier than thyself, for if thou lendest him, count it but lost. That's going into borrowing people things like money. If you borrow something to somebody who is mightier than you, it says count it but lost, meaning you ain't getting that back, man. You should have never borrowed it to him in the first place, because you should have known better that this person don't pay back. If you've already borrowed this person, let's say you borrow them $50 and they never paid you back, and they come and ask you for $100. Are you going to give it to them? Or are you going to think about the fact that they didn't pay you back from the last time? That's why it says, lend not unto him that is mightier than thyself, for if thou lendest him, count it but lost. You're not going to get it back, man. That's why that's common sense, man. These are the examples of common sense. A few of many examples of common sense in the scriptures. Verse 13, be not surety above thy power, for if thou be surety, take care to pay it. That goes into borrowing, man. Let's say you borrow something from somebody. So not only is it common sense for someone who is doing the borrowing, but it's common sense for someone who may be borrowing something, the borrower. It says, be not surety above thy power. Don't ask for something more than what you can give back, man. Salakia. But it says, for if thou be surety, take care to pay it. Salakia, y'all. I'm going to turn that back off. It says, for if thou be surety, take care to pay it. Always pay back what you borrow, man. Because it shows your integrity. But I just found another precept that goes along with what I was just talking about when it comes to lending and being lent. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 29, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, he that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor, and he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandments. So a merciful person will give to his brother, man. It says, he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandment. That's why the commandments are life. They strengthen you. Verse 2, lend to thy neighbor in time of his need, and pay thou thy neighbor again in due season. So you should be willing to help your brothers, man, in their time of need. If you got it, and when it's time to pay them back, give it back, man. That's what that's saying. Pay thou thy neighbor again in due season. Verse 3, keep thy word and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee. Always be a man of your word, man, and deal faithfully, have integrity about yourself. That's what that's saying. These are perfect examples of common sense and sound judgment. This is true common sense and sound judgment, It says, and thou shalt always find thing that is necessary for thee. You'll always have someone on your side, if you're a person of integrity. Verse 4, many, when a thing was lent them, reckoned it to be found, but put them to trouble that them, Perfect examples of family members who you have borrowed money to, and they take forever. They never answer the phone. And on some occasions, you got family members who will start an argument with you just so y'all not speaking, so they ain't got to pay you back, man. That's what that's talking about. Many, when a thing was lent to them or borrowed to them, reckoned it to be found and put them to trouble that helped them. They literally will stop being your friend just so they ain't got to pay you back, man. We all know somebody like that. Verse 5, here it goes. Till he have received, he will kiss a man's hand. And for his neighbor's money, he will speak submissively. Oh, man, help me out, man. You my cousin, man. I love you, man. He will kiss a man's hand, and for his neighbor's money, he will speak submissively. They know exactly how to finesse and talk smooth to you, man. It says, but when he should repay, he will prolong the time and return words of grief and complain of the time. Man, why you keep asking me about that little funky ass $20? We all know somebody like that, man. I've always, I learned that if you got to argue with a person to pay you back, if you borrowed them $50, you literally paid $50 to get that person out of your life. You got to think of it like that, man, because that person ain't trying to pay you back. It says when he should repay, he will prolong the time. He gonna drag it out as long as he possibly can, man. And return words of grief. Man, why you keep asking him about that little funky ass $50, man? It's people like that out here, man. I can name a couple people, and complain of the time. We all know somebody like that, man. Wicked Jakes who just can't get right, man. Being niggas about the situation. That's the true example of a nigga, man. So not only should you be given to people who ain't gonna pay you back because you're gonna have to count it but loss, but you shouldn't be borrowing from people and you can't borrow it. So that goes to the lender and the borrower, man. Or the lender and the person that's borrowing. Verse 14, go not to law with a judge, for they will judge for him according to his honor, And when I think of a judge, I think of somebody who's high ranking in society, man. You don't want to go back and forth with a person like that, because they got a lot of people on their side. They got a lot of connections, man. That's what that's saying. Avoid situations like that because the people around him are going to work in his favor, not yours. Verse 15, travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee. For he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly, And we all know somebody who is reckless, someone who is careless. You out in public with them, they trying to be seen. They trying to be noticed everywhere they go, That's what that's talking about when it says he become grievous unto thee. He gonna vex your spirit, man, because he's gonna do according to his own will. He gonna do what he want to do. And thou shalt perish with him through his folly, because they say, like, I know y'all have probably heard, you are who you hang out with, If you hanging around this person, obviously y'all got something in common. And you don't want to be that person. Verse 16, strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place. For blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. So arguing and quarreling and fighting with somebody who is angry, is pointless, because you can literally lose your life, man. It says blood is as nothing in his sight. He'll take your life and will literally act like it never happened, man. And where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. He will kill you if he get the chance, man. So avoid people like that. As a matter of fact, I got a precept that has come to my mind when I think about this this right here. Salakia. Bear with me for 1 second. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 22 and verse 13. And it reads, talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. This is an example of how to avoid a person like that, man. It says, depart from him and you shall have rest, so you shouldn't even be around somebody like that, because at the end of the day, they don't have any common sense, and they're not trying to learn any common sense, and you can literally die like that, man. So you got to depart from that person. You'll never be defiled with his fooleries, or you won't lose your life, man. You won't be disquieted with madness, meaning your spirit won't be vexed, man. That goes into verse 15 too. Stay away from bold people or they'll become grievous unto you, man. It all comes together. This is the common sense, staying away from people who ain't got no sense, not arguing with people who are argumentative, staying away from people who love being wicked, man. This shows humility too, when you're able to get these things and understand them and live them to the very best of your ability. Verse 17, consult not with a fool, for he cannot keep counsel. Basically, don't go to somebody who has no sense, man. Always seek counsel from someone who can give you the right advice. A fool don't understand that, man. And that goes into what I was just saying. Talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding, man. Why? Because he can't keep counsel. He don't know what the hell he talking about. Verse 18, do no secret thing before a stranger, for thou knowest not what he will bring forth. Open not thine heart to every man, lest he requite thee with a shrewd turn. So the things, let's say you got an issue that you need to get off your chest, and you telling it to somebody who can't wait to tell your business, man. You got to have enough discernment. You got to have enough understanding to stay away from people like that, man. That's why it says, open not thy heart to every man, meaning don't tell your innermost thoughts to everybody, man, because they will literally tell it to everybody. And especially if you don't know them like that. They don't care about offending you. These are perfect examples of operating in wisdom, man. That's why Proverbs, the 4th chapter, says, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. This is how you do it, by listening and learning and applying, man. Like it says in the New Testament, Salaki, I believe it's the book of James, where it says, be not hearers, but doers as well, man. I'm roughly paraphrasing. Be not hearers, be doers, not hearers only. So apply this to your life, man. This is true common sense right here, man. Meditating on these things, and trying to become this person to the very best of your ability. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and Elstone. Peace, salutations, love, and respect to you, hopeful elect 144,000, and the 1/3 men, women, and children. Like I said, with GMS Wisconsin. Until next time, I say shalom.